social skills that made me attractive. Have you ever met someone and you instantly felt drawn to them? There's just something about the energy, the way they speak, move, connect with others, that's just connects. The truth is, their looks may be part of it, but it's not that necessarily. The smell could also help, but it's not that necessarily. It's their social skills. Let me tell you how mastering these skills can make you incredibly attractive. Growing up, I didn't struggle necessarily with looks. I had decent jobs and a decent physique, but if there's one thing I was struggling with was social skills. You see, growing up, I was always the odd one out. I felt like I needed to prove myself a lot of times, and I felt like an outcast because coming from Italy, moving to South London, terrible transition. Then while I was in Italy, I was one of the only black guys around. So I always felt like the odd one out. And that affected my social skills. In school, never really got along with girls, and cut a long story short, I had it hard. It was difficult. And when I want to get to know people, I tried to overdo things so that I didn't feel as awkward about them being around me, because I didn't feel like I was good enough around when I was with them. So it was a mess. It was terrible. And I decided that not just only I was going to utilize my social skills to change my narrative, but I was going to master it. And I got into sales. Now, here's the 3 things that are the most important when it comes to sales: engaging people, make them feel seen, and leaving a lasting impression. You see, once I learned these 3 things, my life changed. You see, confidence is magnetic. Desperation repulses. So in other words, if you're currently desperate to get to know people, or you're desperate to change your narrative, you're probably going to put a lot of people off. However, if you are confident, a lot of people are going to find you attractive. So, true confidence is about being comfortable in your own skin. And that's when I realized how important things like gym are. I think every guy should go to the gym. I remember the days where I used to tuck in my shirt, trying to make sure that my tummy didn't show. Uncomfortable. And the reason why I know that feeling is because I was fat and I didn't like being fat. And I had potential, by the way. I knew I had potential. I'm Nigerian, so genetics in Nigeria apparently are great. But for some reason, I genuinely felt uncomfortable. And it's until I took responsibility of that everything changed. So if you're uncomfortable in your own skin, it's your responsibility to change that. I'm sorry, I can't save you. I don't think anyone can, but yourself. So if you're gonna go to the gym, go to the gym. Need help in working out? I've got some videos down below that can help you with that. So just scroll down and you're gonna see them. But more than anything, it's all down to consistency. Become the person that does the right things. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. And women actually like, to a certain extent, the cocky guy, but it's a very thin line between that being arrogant and being... So the perfect balance is being confident enough to have banter, but also being kind enough to be a gentleman, or someone that knows how to show empathy, or someone that simply knows when to stop. Number 2, active listening. You see, 80% of conversations from you as a salesman should be you keeping your mouth shut and asking the right questions. So 80% you're listening, and 20% is you asking the right questions to keep them going. People like to talk about themselves, especially women. So you practicing active listening shows them that not only you're listening. By the way, this is a very key difference, because a lot of people listen to respond. You don't want to listen to respond. You want to listen to learn. And the difference between the two is when you listen to respond, you have a response in your head. So you're just waiting for them to finish. So in other words, you're not really taking in what they say, and they can sense that. But when you listen to learn, your response at the end may be maybe a complete different one. And what that allows you to do is receive the information, knowing that your response or your world may be completely transformed after the information you receive. So always listen to learn, unless the person's completely talking rubbish. Sense of humor. Now, I mentioned it earlier, being cocky, being funny, knowing how to throw banter is key. You cannot, as a salesman, you need to be able to swerve the rejections and turn them into opportunities. Now, you're only going to be able to do that once you detach yourself from the words and the focus on the person and making them feel better. So how can I make this person feel better, even though they've said I'm a jerk? Well, that's not nice, is it? Right? That approach there just kind of like disarms them. Always be disarming. And that's credits to Jeremy. But I'm not going to tell you his YouTube channel because I'm not going to help you guys in sales. This is a dating channel. So, always be disarming. Alright? Cool. Number 4, eye contact. Now, my first YouTube channels, the reason why they weren't getting views is because I was here and the camera was here. I wasn't looking at you guys. But you see, now that things have picked up, you're here, so many other people are here as well because of eye contact. You want to have eye contact because it shows them not only that you're confident, but also shows them that you're interested, that you're keen to understand them, and you're trying to really, really get them to feel seen. You can see them. So that's eye contact for you. So, by the way, I'm not talking about just staring at. Pace it. So read the room. If you can sense that it's getting a bit intense, it's like this roller coaster, right? If you can see it going up, pull it back down, up, back down. So then you look away, then you look again, then you look away, then you look again, you look away. Now, if this sounds like some sort of interesting stuff that I'm discussing, definitely book a call where we can discuss in my one-to-one coaching program how I can assist you in improving your opportunities and get you to find a dream partner. Cool. Body language. Body language is 93% of communication. Of body language alone, you can understand half of the things that are happening. Empathy. Now, with empathy, the reason why that's such a key thing to understand is because we've understood that you can now listen to learn. But you see, with empathy, that's the game changer because, okay, let me make it clear. So I struggle with empathy because of the simple fact that I grew up in a hyper-masculine environment where I was simply taught, no excuses, just get to work. And again, with that approach, it's easy for you to sort of be in a position where you're just like, well, if I'm doing it, why are you not doing it? The power about empathy, or the ability to now empathize, comes in when you're not able to visualize or put yourself in the shoes of the person you're speaking to. And what that allows you to do is not only understand them a lot more, but because you're listening to learn, you're completely learning a completely different world. Now, this was inspired by neural knowledge. You probably know who that guy is. And what he said in one of his videos was, we live in 8 billion worlds. And what that means is that I've got my world, you've got your world, and so does the person next to you, and so does the other person next to you. And what you're doing when you're listening is you're learning about a completely different world, a completely different culture, a completely different set of rules that a person utilizes to operate. Now, yes, sometimes they do sort of intertwine or relate. This is how you find friends and whatnot. But more times than not, their experience is completely different from yours, which is what allows them to be their own person and allows you to have your own signature. If everybody had the exact same experiences, not only would live in a weird place, but it'd be very difficult for people to differentiate. Oh yeah, I went through this. Oh yeah, so did I, and so did I, and it was the exact same thing. What makes it unique is the fact that everybody's got their own taste or their own perception. Some people can go through great parenthood and turn out to be great children, and some can go through that and say, I want something completely different. We are different because of how we respond to experiences and how we deal with those experiences and how we are attracted to those experiences. Okay, so definitely apply empathy. Now, conversational skills. How do you keep the conversation going? Here's my rule, okay? Because you're gonna have, especially if you look based on the tips on this video alone, your dating skills are going to improve drastically. But more than anything, you're gonna have to start to learn the art of being a great listener or conversational. I don't know if that's a word, but if it isn't, I'm creating it now. You're welcome. Thank me later. I will trademark it because I don't want you. Anyways, never mind. I think I'm getting too far here. Cool. So, conversational skills. Right. Very simple. You listen to learn, then you take the last 3 sentences of what's been said, or the last 2 sentences, or the last sentence. You repeat that to the person, just to show them that you've been listening, and then you ask a follow-up question. A practical example. So I went to the Mayfair, and it was amazing. I got to meet so many, I got to network and meet so many amazing people. Oh, really? What was that like? So you went to Mayfair? Really? I've never been there before, actually. What was that like? Right? So you seem engaged. You've shown her that you've actually taken in the information, and then on top of that, you're asking a follow-up. So it's like, okay, what's you've told me season 1. What's season 2 like? What happened? Right? Tell me more. Let's hear it. Right? These are all things that just go, oh my gosh, this guy's really interested in me. Exactly my point. Once you have the whole sole purpose of conversational skills is to let the woman feel seen. Very simple. Cool. Number 8. This is we're rounding up, guys. So emotional control. Now, you see, I mentioned in one of my previous videos how being the person that has the ability to be calm in the storm elevates you to a different level. But more than anything, I come from a stoic background, as you can probably tell. And the ability to respond and not react puts you in a position of power. Let me explain. So, when you're fighting in jiu-jitsu, for instance, right? If you react, you're gone. It's done. You don't get a second chance. Your leg will be begging for a surrender because you just can't handle it. The pain is agonizing, and it's all happened because you reacted instead of being strategic in regards to how you intended to respond. So the difference between responding and reacting is the difference between winning and losing. Yes, sometimes you may get lucky and react and something lucky may happen, but more times than not, you're better off responding. And the reason why you're better off responding is because you've clocked the pattern and you're using that to your advantage. So respond, not react, okay? Never react. Oh, but this person may force me to... No one's forcing you to do anything. No one's got... no excuses, please. Just don't react. Literally, it's that simple. That's emotional control. So I don't know how else to make this simple. But videos. So we've reached the final tip. So which of these social skills are you going to start mastering today? Because the truth of the matter is, you take on 5, 6, or even 10 of the whole lot. Great, fantastic. But make sure you take action. You see, the momentum always says this. The work starts once this video is done. It doesn't start, you're not doing the work whilst watching this, you're just getting the information. But the work starts once you start mastering these things. And then you come back to me in a month's time and say, yo, man, Dole, this is really, this is working. I'm getting some good stuff now. Yeah, of course you are. Because I'm telling you everything I've done in order to get out of the position you're currently in. So yes, it works and it's evergreen. So thank me later. Right, if this video has helped you, share in the comments which one of the tips stood out the most. If you're a woman, am I lying? Am I? Are these social skills completely useless? They don't help? I don't know. Let's put in the comments. Let's hear it. Right? Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.